What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the greatest sports podcast in the world. I am your host with my co-host, like Mike.
Yeah,
And today we have a few things on the list. First up, we have the great Tim Duncan retiring.
the
Now,
big fundamental.
this was huge in the sports world because everybody knew he was thinking about the man's 40 years old. But he did it in the middle of the off season. He wasn't like Kobe. He's just not a person to bring attention to himself. You gotta respect him for that because sometimes it does get annoying when people do try to bring attention to themselves. But besides the fact, dude's a legend. I mean, it's besides the fact of staying on the same team his whole career. He has 5 rings. What, he has like 1 MVP, Mike.
One, maybe two. Yeah, I'll check up on that.
And I mean, it's just obviously he's going to the Hall of Fame, and it's gonna be crazy to see the Spurs without him. I mean, he's been on the team since like '98, since I was born, '97, '98, something like that. And seeing the Spurs play without him is gonna be crazy. Like seeing Tony Parker play without him is gonna be crazy. Him too. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan were just they were the big three forever.
hmm
And even though Manu Ginobili and I mean even though they're all old, they're just a legendary big three. And see, especially Tony Parker and Tim Duncan, it's gonna be weird seeing them play without each other. But I mean, it's not a big problem. I mean, they got LaMarcus Aldridge on the team, so he
And they just signed Pau Gasol.
exactly. And I mean, Powell, he's retiring soon, but he's still playing phenomenal. It sucks that he had to leave the Bulls, but regardless of the fact, him and Powell and LaMarcus Aldridge are gonna do the job fine, and that team's gonna be great with
Tim Duncan, 5 championships, 1 MVP, 15 All-Stars.
15. That's amazing right there. And it's crazy that he's gone.
And he got Finals MVP 3 of those 5 times, and one of them, the last one was Kawhi Leonard, and the one before that was Tony Parker when they swept the Cavs, the young LeBron. And
Crazy stuff. So,
And I like how Tim Duncan he's gonna pass the torch to Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge and let them carry on the Spurs legacy. I don't know how long Popovich is gonna stay.
he's gonna be gone when Tony's gone.
And I think it's gonna be his last season.
I mean, this man, I've never seen Popovich get emotional before.
Yeah.
And when he was talking about Timmy, he was on the verge of crying. He had to stop talking for a little bit just so he wouldn't cry. 'Cause nobody's ever seen Popovich get emotional, and the man barely even talks when it
And
comes to interviews.
the big question that's been going on is who had the better legacy, Tim Duncan or Kobe? And a lot of people are just gonna say Kobe just because it's Kobe. But, I mean, Tim Duncan, he has a lot to argue because he's been in the playoffs 18 times. Kobe's been in the playoffs 15 times. He's got one more Finals MVP.
And I mean, it's just they had two completely different roles. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah,
Tim Duncan, he wasn't the flashy player. He wasn't the player that's dropping fucking 81, but I mean, he was always dropping buckets. He was always scoring. He was always being efficient.
he's definitely a top 3 power forward of all time.
100%. I mean, people are saying he's number one, but
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that could argue that point depending on who you're a fan of. Excuse me, but yeah, who would you say is better, legacy?
I mean, I personally think Tim Duncan because I really truly believe Kobe. Those first 3 rings definitely wouldn't have come without Shaq. He didn't. Shaq got Finals MVP all 3 years. And I know Kobe was like his Robin, but still, Tim Duncan was the man for all of his rings. Maybe not the very last one, but he definitely was part of the reason they were just killing the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
But but you gotta say Tim Duncan got put in a better situation too. If imagine Kobe with Popovich, we don't know what could have happened.
Yeah, I mean, this coach is legendary. He is the man.
But
And
you gotta respect both of them staying on their teams their whole career.
oh, definitely, that's something you definitely don't see nowadays. Stuck through the hard. I mean, I wouldn't say Tim Duncan had too many hard times to stick through, but he stuck through the L's of playoffs. I mean, obviously you can't win every year, but 5 rings ain't too bad. Fills up a whole hand. And Kobe, I mean, it's Kobe. Kobe fans are the most annoying fans. You gotta say that. I mean, they praise this man like he is God himself. Say he's the best player to ever step on the court, which, I mean, LeBron and Jordan obviously have that swept off the question for people that aren't like diehard Kobe fans, and they're just so aggravating. But besides the fact, you got anything else to say about Timmy?
Nah, man.
Next on the list, Draymond Green getting arrested this weekend for assault. Now, I don't know who the hell is messing with a 6'9", 200+ pound man, but you gotta give props to that
It's a
man.
cornerback for Michigan State.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, do you know like what the whole argument was even about?
I don't know what it was about. I just know Draymond just punched his ass. First it came out that he slapped him, but then the corner came out and said he punched him.
He's probably. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I mean, gotta give
I
props to
mean,
that man for fucking with a big ass nigga.
that's just Draymond. He doesn't. I don't know if he could control the temper.
But yeah, the temper, if that's bad because if he ends up getting charged and all that, and he's found guilty, he can spend up to I think they said 93 days.
93
Yeah, 93 days, and was it jail or prison?
jail
Uh,
and a $500 fine, which is pocket change.
oh yeah, I mean that's
And he had a
it's
blood
not.
alcohol content of .10.
Well, I mean as long as he won't drive, that's not terrible. But he was pretty
Mm.
fucked up. Um, but yeah, it just looks bad on him. It looks bad for the Warriors having somebody that went to jail for 93 days over assault. So hopefully he comes back strong. Gotta
I got
respect. Just gotta respect it, man.
I got a quote from the cornerback. He said, "I was talking to one of my teammates when Draymond bumped into me, and I said, 'Hey, bro, can you at least say excuse me?'"
Hmm.
And then so I asked who he was to think that it's okay to bump into somebody without saying excuse me. He then said, "I'd pay for niggas like you scholarships." Then I started to say, you had me messed up before I was choked out by two guys who were with him."
Shit.
So
Yeah,
Draymond's getting a little crazy with that money, that contract he got last summer.
I don't see him as a bad guy. I just think he was drunk and he just
He
wasn't in
does
the
shit
right
like that. He
mind.
does stuff like that on the court too, kicking people in
Yeah,
the
you're right.
nuts.
Everybody knows that was intentional. You don't just flail your leg up like that just randomly. I mean, I don't know what could cause that. What kind of flop he was trying to do that would have caused that, but that shit was intentional, no doubt about it. All right, next up on the list, Manny Pacquiao coming out of retirement. Now, this could be huge because this could lead to Money Mayweather coming out of retirement and them having a rematch, which I think everybody would love to see.
Mhm.
Then again, maybe people won't because the first fight, it got so much hype from non-boxing fans, and I think like the non-boxing fans expected somebody like the fight just to be like a brawl, which it wasn't. It was just a typical boxing match. By the later rounds, I mean they were just gassed and just laying on top of each other. And I think people expected to be, I don't know, like a UFC just getting knocked out and shit. It wasn't anything like that,
Mhm.
and it really killed the hype because, like I said, non-basketball fans hyped it up way too much. They knew nothing about it, It's expected way too much, but I'd still love to see a rematch because I did enjoy it. It was my very first boxing match I've ever watched. Frankly, I enjoyed it even though it wasn't like a knockout, but I got to see what it's like for like a real boxing match. I mean, and neither of them are known for knocking people out. They're they're known by winning by decision. So it's not like a Mike Tyson. I mean, none of those people, Mayweather or Pacquiao, are known for just slaying niggas and knocking them out. So people really hyped that up too much. But I'd love to see that rematch. I don't know about you.
Yeah, they're just mainly defensive fighters, but like Mayweather's just died because Pacquiao threw about twice as many punches and landed not as many as Mayweather. That's Mayweather.
He's just too quick.
Yeah,
he's lightning quick, and it really because Pacquiao even said he thought he won. So that's why, like the 15th round, or what, like the last round, whatever round that is, he said he didn't even try that much because he assumed he won, and I guess that proves you should never stop fighting as hard as you can. Cause, but then again, I mean, you never know with sports these days. You never know what's rigged and what's not. But they might have just wanted to end Mayweather's career off with 0 losses. But I mean, if you look at the stats, I mean, it definitely pointed towards Money Mayweather because he didn't let Pacquiao hit him. Like, it's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Next up on the list, we have Adam Silver saying super teams are not good for the league, and I couldn't agree with that more. Because what do you guys say about this, Mike?
KD to the Warriors. I mean, yeah, I think it's ridiculous how one team can afford to pay a max contract to 3 players, and then I know just the way the rules work, they're gonna be able to pay Steph Curry the max next summer, still have no problems, and still be able to have guys like Iguodala or Sean Livingston, and sign guys like David West or Zaza Pachulia and people like that. I definitely don't think. But I mean, I wouldn't be saying that if my team was the Warriors. So.
Yeah, you're right. It kills, in my opinion. I think it's gonna kill the drive for other teams to try to win, especially in the West. Because when it comes down to the fact, if that team stays healthy, I can't see them losing to anybody in the West.
It's only one ball, my friend.
Yeah, that's true. But that one ball gets into anybody on that starting lineup's hands, or the one through the 4. Anybody can cash out from 3.
Yeah, I definitely think their defense is not going to be very good.
But
like, Draymond's a good defender, Clay's a good defender, but KD's not a elite defender. Neither is Steph Curry. I definitely think their defense is going to take a hit this season because Bogut, a lot of people didn't really like Bogut on that team, but he controlled the paint for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they think Zaza Pachulia is about to do that, but he's a good rebounder, but he's not going to be able to do what Bogut did for them.
I just hope that this super team doesn't kill people's drives to win, because anything can happen. I mean, in a playoff game, nobody thought the Warriors were going to come back from 3-1, and nobody thought the Cavs were going to come back from 3-1. So, I mean, anything's possible. All it takes is Draymond getting suspended in one more game, and there's no telling what happens. I mean, that, in my opinion, that's the reason that the Cavs won in the finals, because it just brought all the momentum their way. And by Game 7, I mean, the Warriors were just, their momentum was not there, while the Cavs they were just hype as hell, ready to get that dub. So anything can happen.
I could definitely see the Cavs going back there and beating them.
Oh, definitely. As long as that team stays healthy, because, I mean, the first time they faced off in the playoffs, the Cavs they were not there. Without Kyrie and Caleb, I mean, not like Caleb did anything spectacular or good at all, besides like the last game. But Kyrie, he pretty much won them Game 7 with that crazy 3 at the end.
Yep.
Because that just made Steph Curry just have to try to force up a dumb shot. I mean, I guess it wouldn't have been too dumb if he made it, because he very capable of making crazy shots like that. But without Kyrie, as long as, I mean, I guess that goes with any team. As long as they stay healthy, they're gonna do good. But the Cavs need them to stay healthy, and I mean, say the Warriors get one injury. I mean, they still got the big three from last year, or a big three. Regardless of who gets injured, just gonna be three players on the court. That's all superstar material, so there's no telling what could happen. But the Cavs definitely have them on defense. Warriors have the whole league on offense by a mile. It's just ridiculous. I still dumbfounded that KD would actually go to the team that he lost to over and over again.
I don't know. I don't know.
Next topic on our list, we're gonna talk about the Westbys tonight and who won what. And we're gonna talk about everything. That's just a little too much, but record-breaking performance. Steph Curry won. I mean, I don't. I mean, he did do spectacular. 402 threes is ridiculous, but I don't know. I mean, I guess he deserved it, but when he was up there talking, this man was pretty much bashing himself. He's talking about, I mean, I guess I could have made a few more threes when it actually mattered. He didn't even look too hyped to even receive the award. I mean, just thinking about the Cavs the whole time. Breakthrough breakthrough athlete. I definitely thought Conor McGregor was going to win this by a landslide. I mean, this dude's been the talk of the sports for like the last year and a half. I mean, if you haven't heard Conor McGregor's name, you've been
probably because he lost to Diaz.
Yeah, if you haven't heard his name, you've been living under a rock. But this man is a baseball player named Jake Arrieta.
Yep.
I couldn't tell you who he is, what he's done to win the award, but I know nothing about baseball. But congratulations to him. Now this is one I was really happy he won. Was the comeback player of the year, Eric Berry.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta respect him. He had cancer, came back, and was a beast. Like, I mean, he was a beast before, and he came back just as strong. And to see somebody beat cancer and come back to be a full-time athlete again in the NFL, you gotta respect somebody who can do that. And the best moment, I mean, Cleveland, who I think everybody expected that to happen. I mean, they haven't won a championship in 52 years until this year. Any award through this ESPYs that had a Cleveland player in it or something about Cleveland, I mean, they were winning. It's just it was pretty ridiculous. But I mean, you gotta be pretty happy for that city. Even though I don't like LeBron, but I mean, that city stuck through 52 years without a championship they have several sports teams, so the fact that they couldn't pull off that was pretty sad. But Cleveland did it they didn't just do it, they came back from 3-1 in the finals, nobody's ever done before, which was spectacular to see. Icon award winners, you got Kobe Bryant, Peyton Manning, and Abby Wambach off the U.S. women's national soccer team. Nothing much to say about that. Congratulations to those three, all legends in their own factors. If you watch sports, you know Abby Wambach used to be a beast in the 2008 World Cup, Women's World Cup, or whatever year they played, like the one before like 2 World Cups ago.
2010.
Yeah. Is that all I got for the ESPYs? Yeah, that's. You got any more to say?
One I didn't agree with was the best male athlete, and LeBron won that. I mean, LeBron did have a good finals run, but I definitely think Cam Newton should have won that.
100%. This man Cam Newton put in work this season. Now, besides the fact that his O-line couldn't produce for him in the Super Bowl, wasn't his fault. I mean, when it comes down to that, I mean, there's nothing he could do. This man was scrambling, getting hit every single play. And I think the only reason LeBron won is because he won the finals, and it's the whole Cleveland 52-year drought. It just all came back to that. Whenever Cleveland was in the votings, I mean, Cam Newton 100% should have won. Yeah, I definitely had a lot of respect for him after this season, and despite the fact that he lost in the Super Bowl, you just gotta respect him, man. And our last topic for the day, unless we think of any more, is the UFC selling for $4 billion.
Damn.
Now, that is a lot, don't get me wrong, but when you think about it, the Cowboys alone, the Dallas Cowboys alone are worth $4 billion. And to think that a whole organization is worth $4 billion, I mean, they are up and coming. I think a lot of people are starting to get more into it, but it's just harder when you have to pay $60 every time you want to see a big fight when it comes to like to the UFC big nights that aren't fight nights, and then even when you want to see fight nights, you got to pay for the pass online. It's a lot of money people don't want to spend. They'd rather watch free entertainment when it comes down to just every other sport pretty much. But frankly, I didn't even think like an organization could sell like that. Like, I didn't know that the NFL and UFC and NBA could even be sold because there's organizations inside the organization because owners own every single team. So I didn't know that could actually happen. You got any other topics to talk about today, Mike?
Nah, man, that covers it.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a shorter podcast, but we wanted to get this out the way because it's gonna be a few days before we can get back to you because Mike's going out of town. But I hope you guys enjoyed listening to the best sports podcast in the world. I hope you guys stick around for episode 3 through however many we do. We should be on the Spotify podcast beta soon, so look for us on there. I'll link everything down in the description on YouTube. And I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been your host and co-host. We both are hosts. Mikey's my co-host, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's been Coochies.
Like Mike.
And we'll catch you guys in the next one.